Ooh, all right. It's time. Clean the Krusty Krab. We're gonna take it from the Krusty Krab to the Cleanly Crab. That's what we're gonna do. You know, I can't do a Mr. Krabs voice. I'll try. You know, the only thing worse than eating chum, having it all draped over your business. I don't know what's got into that scoundrel Plankton, but he's gone too far this time. If this is yet another diversion so he can try and steal me secret Krabby Patty formula, then, like all his previous attempts, it's doomed to failure. Gosh, I'm losing it the more I try to use it. I would say he doesn't have two brain cells to rub together, but he don't have two of any cells to rub together. Ag, 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 ag. Please wash me Krusty Krab down as quick as you can. Every chum-covered minute is $1 lost. It's like the closest to, like, character accurate I feel I've seen from any of them. Mostly because it just, like, comes down to money and everything. It makes a lot of sense. Let's make sure we get a sign. What are you doing? Washing down the Krusty Krab. Can't do a Plankton voice either. You should be helping me, you incorrigible nitwit. Krabs started it by covering my chum bucket with a complex array of dirty circles. Oh, do we have to get both of them? Oh, this is gonna be a multi-episode project. I can guarantee it. It's gonna be really awkward because I don't have time to record multiple episodes right now, so it's gonna make it kind of weird, but that's okay. Please, I'll pay you. This game. This game. Lord help them, they tried. They tried to get the dialogue. I shouldn't be so harsh on it. I keep, like, ragging on them for it, but I feel like that's maybe not fair. It does, like, knowing that this isn't actually, like, you know, like we've discussed, you can tell this is not an American-made game. So expecting them to have, like, the nuances of American cartoon characters might be a little harsh of me. I'm willing to acknowledge that. I might need to lighten up my standards and expectations here just a little bit. I can acknowledge that that's a possibility. Oh boy, this sign is going to be a pain to try and get. I can guarantee it. Guarantee it's going to be a pain. It's got a lot of little nooks and crannies going on here. I also feel like I'm definitely going to have to move the scaffolding around to get the full sign. I want to get the sign, though. I want to start off with this one and get it done, because I feel like the actual buildings proper are going to be a bit easier to get overall than, like, this sign. The sign definitely feels like it's going to be the most cumbersome to try and take care of here. Because we're going to have to move the scaffolding around, and it's going to have to be all... Like, you're going to have to move the scaffolding around, and it's going to be hard because it's going to keep bumping into, like, the hit boxes of the sign and everything. It's just going to be a mess. Oh my gosh, they individualized the letters. That's a different level than I was expecting. They didn't have to go that hard. I feel like this would just be filling up with water. Except that's kind of a silly thing because, again, we're underwater and it still makes no sense. They gotta suspend disbelief. Which I guess is like a no-duh situation, considering we are playing a video game. And it is a SpongeBob SquarePants themed version of that video game. There's like 7 layers of suspension of disbelief here that you kind of have to do if you're gonna have any hope of being content with this game. Oh boy. I remember as a kid wanting so desperately to try to make, you know, a Krabby Patty. And like, cause like I was convinced that it was gonna be, something about it was gonna be so different and special. Right, cause that's how they market it in the game. You know, which I guess also kind of goes to show not even just like how good marketing is on children, but how susceptible of a child I was. Although at the same time, maybe I can give myself a bit of slack because cartoon food always does look amazing. Like, have you ever looked at a cartoon pizza? It always looks so delicious. And like every time someone takes a bite, the bite mark looks so perfect. You know what I mean? Anyways, I always wanted to make one so bad. And so like I had my parents try to help me figure out how to do it because that was like I'm not going to say that my childhood was before the internet per se. The internet was pretty much always there, you know, when I was a kid. It was dial up back in those days, but that's kind of the thing of it. Like the internet was there, but it was not the same like consistent powerhouse that it is nowadays. The internet was kind of like a fringe thing that you only really used if you had like a special reason to use it. That's just what it was back then. And so my parents helped me by watching the show and like trying to like whenever an episode would come on where SpongeBob was making them, we would try to like make sure we got the order because like they have the one where they do the order, but then the hard part was figuring out what like the Krusty Krab special sauce would be and stuff like that. So my parents tried to help me figure out how to make a Krabby Patty, and I think my favorite part about that story is now as an adult, like I can look back on it and realize that like bless their hearts, they were probably so confused because once it's just a cheeseburger, it's just a cheeseburger. Like you can put on like a special like sauce like how the Big Mac has a special sauce, but it's just a cheeseburger. There's nothing else to it. But I was like so determined, and my parents were such good parents. They worked so hard to try and help me do it. Oh, can we hit the jellyfish out of the sky? Bonk. Let's get put down over here. Great. But yeah, that's my childhood story of trying to figure out how to make my cartoon dreams become real life. Oh boy. I was gonna just say, like, I was just about to say I was a simple child, but let's be real, all of us were simple little idiots when we were kids. It's the beauty of being a child. You kind of have permission just to be a simple little numbskull, and it's fine, and everyone understands it. You're a kid, whatever. Kids are stupid. They're supposed to be stupid. Like the one time in your life when you're like permitted, expected to be stupid, So it's like it's all good. Kitty, honey, I'm not going to feed you right now. Oh, okay. Going to make sure she gets on my lap, I guess. Okay, that's fine. You're a good kitty. A little bossy right now, but you're a good kitty. Okay, yeah, I need you to stop pressing your head into my arm, making this. Okay. Are you done? Okay. I got paused in a minute just to give her a hot second of attention because we were. Is at that point where I was like, I didn't think she was going to be denied, and it's like one of those things where it's like sometimes if I'm feeling particularly adamant, I might try to like lay down the law and use it as like a little like pet training moment, sort of like help condition that like you don't get to make demands of me, which I know is not always the most popular approach in modern day times. I mean, believe me, my cat is my child. She's my baby. And I love her dearly, and I will always dote on her and everything. But at the same time, I feel like there's like enough old school attitudes of pets and everything in me for me to sort of like, I don't know, I tend to lean a bit more towards the it's okay for a pet to be a pet sometimes, and to recognize that I'm the one who puts, oh my gosh, I have to get all of this too. Good lord. That I'm the one who, puts food in her bowl. So if I need something, I get to make that demand. Such as if I need her to stop pestering me. So like I tend to be a bit more of that mindset. Train your pets. I guess that's really what it comes down to. Train your pets. Don't be trained by your pets. And I know that is not always a popular modern day attitude. But at any rate, the moral of the story is it's not what I did this time. I definitely acquiesced and gave her scritches. Because she's a sweet girl, And I also know that a lot of it is her sort of acting up because I had my marathon not long ago, and while I was doing that, while I was out of town, she was here in town with pet sitters, and so she's, you know, and like when I say pet sitters, what I mean is my cousin and her children, or her young children, coming in once or twice a day to, make sure she had her food and water and everything, and otherwise she was just kind of on her own. So I do recognize that I kind of abandoned her to her own devices for a while there. So I'm willing to be a bit more patient to help make up for that, at least, for like a week or so after getting back. The one exception being the other night. It was the first night back. She was so obsessed with getting attention from me that she prevented me from getting proper sleep all night long. It was absolutely maddening. That was not okay. And I think she knows that it wasn't okay, but she did it anyway. Because she's a petulant child. She's my child. She's a young child. She's a petulant child. But that's the responsibility I accept. I guess, for, adopting a pet for my own amusement. Because that's what it was. Like, let's be real. I adopted her because I wanted company while living alone. She's here for my amusement. Least I can do is give her attention and, be amusing for her too, right? Anyway, weird conversation. Boy, oh boy. Just like, I don't know how big of a fan I am of this part of it. Hold on, I wonder if like, yeah, see, like, that'll clean that off. Maybe that'll help things go a little bit faster. I don't know, like, I always worry about doing this because it never does it quite as complete of a job. And sometimes it can be more of a pain having to go back and find the areas that you missed, And I know that they have, like, the detergents and stuff. But again, it's like the wide spray. I always struggle with those, even when you're using the soaps and detergents. Like, I guess that can kind of make things come up a bit faster, but that's not the issue here. So, I don't know. This seems to be working fairly well. Oh, yeah, they would. They would. Ugh. Just ugh with a side of ugh. While I'm down here, I'm going to make sure. Yeah, these wheels are going to need to be cleaned. I'm just getting down here and doing these now before I wonder what on earth I'm missing. There we go. Good lord. Okay, step ladder. Nematodes are people too, and it's got sexy Squidward. Fred was here. Ah, those nematodes. I wonder if there's like, maybe this is me reading too much into stuff. I wonder if there's like some sort of hidden background about like political, like political underlinings and stuff, and like just general prejudices within Bikini Bottom with the whole nematodes are people too thing going on there. I wonder if there's something more that we can read into that. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they're just like underprivileged class. Oh, look at that. Hey, there's our clue about where the rim is. You can actually really clearly see that. About where the edges of like where you need to clean the floor there. So, Mr. Krabs thinks that by defacing my superior eatery, he would render me too busy to concoct an ingenious plan to steal his secret formula. I feel like I got a little bit closer to Plankton that time. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that he was capable of such a foul deed. Not true, you guys hate each other. Of course you believed that he could do that. I thought it was something only a real lowlife like myself would do. Oh, that's fair. Okay, alright, that's not bad. That's not a bad Plankton line. Oh, I know, Kitty, you are so sweet. So one of the things Leela has taken to doing lately is while I'm sitting at my computer and gaming and stuff, she like leans against me like, wanting a hug. Such a sweet girl. How can I say no to her? My child. Indeed, it was the very next thing I would do, or whatever, I don't know. I was too slow. And it took it away. See, this is why you need to appreciate the things while they're here, because you never know how long they'll be here before they go away forever. Lord. Yeah, this is absolutely going to be a two-parter. Oh, no. Oh, no. The worst happened. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edge here for this floor and make sure that there's not stuff around the rim that I missed. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I was worried was going to happen. Ah, it's maddening. Like, what? What am I missing? What section am I missing? You know, what did I not get? Oh, it's absolutely, absolutely infuriating. That? Oh my gosh, this is so mad. Oh wait, hold on. We have a way to check this. Going around until we can see what flashes at us. But there. Gosh. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely maddening. Come on, man. Gotta be kidding me. What am I missing? Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my flim-flam and mind over this one. There's not even anything lighting up. Do I just need to, like, go along here and make sure that it's not... That, like, you know, I cleaned off the floor and not... Or that I cleaned off the floor. There it is, good. Whew. Oh, thank goodness. Good lord, I was gonna go absolutely bazonkers with that one. Okay, so... That done. How much time we got? Oh, we got like 15 minutes left in this episode. Heck yeah, we can still do plenty more. I feel like... Okay, let's get the base. Let's just, like, go panel by panel on the base here. This wide one's actually working pretty well right now. I'm gonna stick with this guy. Yeah, this works well. Yeah, we'll get this base. Let's go around and get the base. And then we'll go from there. That's the door frame. Yeah, it's so much easier to keep track of these things if you do it, like, section by section. You know, it's like I was discussing with the bus. It's like, sometimes the temptation is to try and get, like, the whole face of a building, but for things like this, if it's, like, the base, then it can get, like, real messy trying to remember what's what when you're trying to, you know, finish up the last little bits. And so, going segment by segment like this is going to be a much, much easier way to make sure we get it all. At least that's how I feel about it. And I'm pretty sure the base is broken into 2 sections. Right? There's, like, the left and right or north and south or whatever, however you want to frame it. But already we can kind of see where the benefits are doing it by one, right? Because the base, now we're getting a little bit of the same issue here. Where it's like, okay, where are the little bits that didn't get cleaned up? Looks like maybe back there and along there. Or a little bit the issue. Come up here. We get down there. Little nooks and crannies there. Oh my gosh, this is going to be one of those ones, though, in general, isn't it? Where they have just, like, super high expectations. There we go. Getting it all. Oof. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back down to this one and just make sure we're doing a more thorough job. I feel like that might be part of the issue, where it's like, visually, graphically, it looks like you're getting the area clean, but, like, in terms of actually getting the program to acknowledge that it's clean, that other one just, like, because it's too wide and not powerful enough, it, like, leaves those little speckles in areas that look clean, but they're really not. I think that's kind of the issue that we're running into here a lot. So we'll just keep doing it like this. Honestly, though, this is so satisfying. Oh, I love this. Definitely kind of falling into the pattern of, like, treating it like a coloring page. That's what it feels like to me. This game feels like reverse coloring almost. Or it's like you're trying to uncolor areas Trying to get all of the shmoo off of them, right? You can almost even look at it like it is regular coloring, because it's like the colors, you know, it's like you're coloring over the gunky part with the real colors. Only it's even easier because you don't have to try to find the right color, which is great because one of the most maddening things for me as a child was always like, you know, my vision required the 96 Crayola box, right? The 96 colors Crayola box. But I only had the 24 or the 36 or whatever, right? You're lucky you might have the 64 pack. But it's like, I need something between these two shades of orange. And like you can't find it because it's not in the tiny one. Heaven forbid you're one of the poor saps that had the 8 crayon rose art. You know, it's like at that point in time, it's like, geez, oh Pete, you might as well just be bumming the crayons off of your desk mates in the classroom. You know, you're stuck with that situation. I always wanted to be that kid that had the 96 color. Now as an adult, I could do that, but I don't really color anymore. That's one of the it's one of the hobbies that like I used to love as a kid. I always loved the satisfaction of coloring in stuff, but truthfully, like it hasn't stuck with me. I don't often make time to just sit and color things. And it's not because it's not even because I don't like coloring anymore. Like it is still satisfying and fun and enjoyable. But the reason I don't do it is because I didn't really think about what I was grabbing here. This arch is going to be a real process to clean off. We'll get it though. But yeah, the reason I don't color doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I would enjoy coloring. And instead it pretty much is exclusively because any time that I could use to color, there are other things that I could also use that time for that I ultimately would rather use that time for. Um, which is like if that's not the most adult problem that I can think of having in my life, then I don't really know what would be. You know, like that's such an adult situation where it's like I finally have the time and the money to do a lot of the things that I always wished I could do as a kid. Except now as an adult, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't really wish I could do them anymore. And so you're in this awkward situation where you're betraying your childhood by not doing obsessively the same things you always thought you'd be doing obsessively as an adult when you were a kid. Life is weird. Life is weird how it does that kind of stuff to you. But life is weird and depressing and then you die. Moral of the story there. So remember kids, don't try. Horrible lesson. I take it back. Kids, don't listen to that. That's a horrible lesson. Please don't take that lesson out of anything ever. It's tragic and depressing and you can do better than than that non-advice. Kitty, honey, you need to be patient. My darling sweetheart, you are so outrageously close to actually getting the meal that you are desperately trying to convince me to feed you early right now. There's this arch we can get without having to move that scaffolding again. I'll go this way, seems a bit more to the point here. Yeah, I feel like the yellow nozzle here is kind of the sweet spot for this game. It's got a good balance of covering a good swath of area without, you know, without compromising the cleaning quality. I feel like this is one of those situations where it's like just using the easy or the yellow nozzle is kind of the easy mode of this game. And then it's like trying to actually use the right nozzle for each part of the job is a bit more of like the advanced play, like if you're trying to speed run clean everything. Speed run clean town. 100%. Any percent. Speed run clean, 80%. Psh, okay, next one. Psh, okay, next one. You did it. It would really defeat the purpose of this game, wouldn't it? Letting yourself any percent it. Like, there's a cleaner spot. I did some cleaning. On to the next one. Doesn't really have the same satisfaction to it, does it? Defeats the spirit of this whole game. Let's grab this button. Okay, are we gonna? Yeah, see, it's gonna start getting weird with the hitboxes here. I need to move this. Except that I know as soon as I grab this, the only way I'm going to be able to put it down is like if I do that. Because it won't let you put the ladder back on the ground. The game is ridiculous. It's so goofy. So goofy the way the game is designed to balance. And like I say, I love that. I love that. That's not even a dig. That's me absolutely genuinely enjoying the quirkiness of this game. I actually grab this. And over here. The sound effects. Those are some quality, you know, true SpongeBob sound effects they got going on there. The weird, like, I guess it's kind of like a diving board. I don't know why. That weird springing ring that we just like experienced on that other one. There's not anything particularly sea shanty about it, right? Like there's nothing that like really about that whole noise that screams like, oh yeah, no, this is underwater, it's ocean themed or whatever. And yet when you hear it, it just fits. And I think it's because it kind of has the diving board effect, which is like, you know, pool swimming type of atmosphere. So, you know, I think that it tracks. It's not spot on, but it tracks. Wonder if... There we go. Okay, we got it. Oh, we don't have time here. We got a little bit of time. I don't think we have enough time for the other arch. So instead, what we're going to do... Yeah, that whole window is there. Let's get the door. Get the door in the door frame. And see where that takes us for time. I guess I have to kind of be specific about time this time. I have to be specific. I have to be attentive to time this time because I don't have the time to time. I don't have the time to sit here and play without pause. I got to go coach soon. Because, you know, people want me to teach them how to punch and kick things. So, I'll go do that. It's fun. It's fun. Highly recommend it. If you don't have an outlet for having the chance to try and punch and kick things, I recommend trying to find one. Very, very fun. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, that is... Oh, come on. Give it to me. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. Okay, let's stop. See, look at that. That's where, like, those angles start getting kind of wonky with this game. There we go. There we go. I figured it out. Oh, it's so fun, though. I love the wonkiness. I love the weird wonky world of Power Wash Simulator. Video games. Getting computers to do things. Computers are so fascinating. Like, I know how to build computers in the sense of I know how to do the adult Legos version of you buy the parts and you plug them in and it plays. And I know a fair bit about computers in terms of, like, going into different BIOS and figuring out how to make the computer do what I want. But, like, the actual, like, when you actually think about building a computer, you know, going in, programming, putting in the code and all that kind of stuff, like, it's so fascinating to me that computers work, let alone how they work. Because literally all it is it's like, at its basest core, it's just a big, giant, like, nearly endless switchboard of, like, oh yeah, like, when this happens, like, when this combination of switches are on, this one is off, or whatever. And it's like, you just use those to such complete, you know, complete, complex, extensive levels that it turns into click mouse button and spray water onto an imaginary garbage bin to clean it off, right? Like, it's so fascinating because it's just numbers. It's just numbers. And sometimes I wonder about whether people are really grasping that. It's like, not that, like, you should be sitting there having, you know, like a friggin', you know, Odyssey 2021, you know, epiphany moment every time you use a computer per se, but it's like just pausing for a second every once in a while to really fathom how incredible computers are and how ridiculous it is that they work. Kitty, you are right in front of the monitor. I cannot see a doggone thing. Okay, thank you. She's like, I know, that's the point. I want you to stop playing your game and give me what I want. Such a cat. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have that moment sometimes where I'm sitting here playing a game and it suddenly just kind of occurs to me what all is happening, which is that just like a bunch of weird electronic, like I say, it's like an electronic switchboard. A whole bunch of weird electronic, on off switches, ones and zeros, and all that kind of stuff interplay perfectly so that I'm a fishman cleaning off Bikini Bottom. It's so fascinating. Technology is so fascinating. And if I were smarter, I might even be interested in learning how it's done in like an actual professional standard or something like that. Unfortunately, I'm not the proper combination of smart and patient. I feel like that's a part of it. Like if it were just a matter of being smart, I've got the smarts. I could learn that stuff. But I'm not smart and patient enough to actually go through the process of learning. I much prefer to just be like know enough to be fascinated, and then otherwise just be a happy little, a happy little video game playing imp. It just like sits here and plays. I hit the wrong button and fingers are getting clumsy right now. Yeah, just like a happy little guy sitting here cleaning stuff up. Don't listen to Plankton. He's just gone and covered his own chum bucket in muck to try to look all innocent. So he has. That actually does sound like something Plankton would do. That sounds like a SpongeBob type of, you know, hijinks or gaff or goof or whatever you want to call it. Gosh, it's gonna be totally gonna be one of those like outrageously difficult to clean areas of this whole situation here, isn't it? Yep, 100% it is. There we go, we got him. Wait, hold on. What am I still seeing? Oh, the dumpster rim. There we go, got it. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, and that brings us to a pretty good time there. So I'm gonna call it a session, and when we come back, we're going to resume cleaning off the cursed curb, and then the chum bucket. It's gonna get funny with pronunciations of chum bucket. My mind immediately went to something that's wildly inappropriate. So I'll let you ponder what that was, while I say thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, and I love each and every one of you. And have a good day. I'm proud of you. I don't know what you accomplished today, but I'm sure you accomplished something, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of you for keeping on and all that. I don't know. I'm just trying to be encouraging here. Life is hard. We can all use encouragement. So go forth and be encouraged. Okay, bye.